Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. And Sunderland, you finally done it after so many years of trying, heartache and just pain over and over again. You are finally back in the Championship. Guys, do us a favour. We're going to dive right into that. An amazing game from Sunderland and what they could achieve next season. But first of all, smash that like button for us. And if you're new here, do hit that subscribe button because we are a general football channel. Scott, great game. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't you get the prediction bang on?
I did, and I'm glad you said that because literally I was going to bring it up first thing anyway. So I think you've probably seen and knew I was going to do that. So like you just thought, right, just get out of the way, let him have his moment. But yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic game. And what was interesting about it, I found, is in finals of games you have to make big calls. And Alex Neil made a big call. We know ever since he took over, at Sunderland, he's preferred a back five, switched to a back four, which was a big call in itself. And, when they do these in games, they either end up the hero or the villain when they make big calls like that. And he ended up the absolute hero because not only did the back four work, of course, the player that he brought into the team, Elliot Embleton, gets the goal as well, which is absolutely huge. I mean, Alex Neil must have been there like, yes, I am the man.
I am God now. Yeah. You are right. We've seen managers overthink it and it not work out. Pep in Champions League finals, semi-finals, quarter-finals, of course, other managers as well. But he got it right today, didn't he, Alex Neil? He really, really did. Let's touch on the first goal because it comes, relatively early in the game. And the defenders are backing off, and the keeper. I mean, some people saying that it's a bit harsh to criticise him. I have a different opinion.
Yeah, I think it's one of them. I hate it when defenders just keep backtracking. And what's it made me as a neutral watching that? I was actually annoyed just from the annoyingness of the footballing ability in regards to. I just thought, why are you backing off? You're outnumbering Sunderland here. Even if one of you just goes forward and you don't get the ball, you're still going to be in a decent position. I felt they could have stopped the shot.
On that though, Wycombe were backing off from the Sunderland half, literally inside the halfway line. They were backing off for 30, 40, 50 yards. It's not like Sunderland won the ball back 30 yards from their goal and they're trying to get back in position. They win the ball back in Sunderland's own third, and then Wycombe just start running in the opposite direction. And then the goalkeeper, he has to save that for me. I'm sorry. That's a Sunday League mistake.
It was. And to be fair to him, he didn't have a terrible game in general, but that was a huge mistake by Stockdale. And, some people saying the ball swerved, and it did. But at the same time, I really don't think, you cannot save that. But, of course, that put Sunderland 1-0 up, and that was the main thing. Yeah. Of course, Elliot Embleton with the goal. And, of course, being a Sunderland fan himself, I'm sure that will be probably the biggest moment of his career so far, and probably when he retires, I'll look back in this moment in such fond memory.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. Wycombe started to grow into the game in the second half, didn't they?
They did, and what was interesting is that they really started to build a bit of momentum early in the second half. The first nearly 10 minutes, they had a bit of momentum. But then Sunderland showed their quality, and what we saw was a good chance, which Ross Stewart actually missed that one. It was a lovely cross whipped in.
Yeah.
Should have buried that. It went just wide, but of course he then makes up for it later in the game. And he did it at a time where Sunderland themselves were building momentum Wycombe were building momentum yet again, because Akinfenwa comes on and the whole Wycombe crowd base lifted up. The players seemed to get a bit of a buzz as well. Comes in the 75th minute, Wycombe starting to look dangerous. Of course, 78th minute was the goal, and he just deaded everything then.
It was a great finish. The keeper didn't even dive. I don't think the keeper expected him to shoot so quickly, and it just wrong-footed him. I think it might go through the defender's legs, or it just goes past him, and I think he's just maybe blindsided a little bit. And then from there out, you know, it was just party time, wasn't it, for Sunderland fans? You could just hear the atmosphere. I don't think even Sunderland fans believed that they could blow a 2-0 lead in the 80th minute. But yeah, for Stewart, I mean, he scored the only goal in their 1-0 win in the playoffs. And Sunderland deserve this, don't they? You've got to think, if you only concede 1 goal in 3 playoff games, you deserve to get promoted.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were great within the playoffs, and it was a great end to the season as well. It was a massive call made to change the manager when they did. Yes, things weren't going particularly right with results, but Sunderland weren't in a bad position in the league. But, you know, ultimately, I think they saw maybe, you know, they didn't want disaster to happen again. They needed to get up this season. I think we've been saying that for 2 or 3 seasons now, but it felt more than ever they needed to get up this one, and they have, which is obviously great news. And the question is, what's next for them? What is next for Sunderland? Because a massive club, we know they'll probably, well, there's no probably about it. They'll be selling out, you know, the stadium on some occasions in the Championship next season.
Absolutely.
Quite a lot of the games. You know, that's going to bring in a lot of ticket revenue, especially even at the Championship. They still have a big ground in that merit. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next season.
We've seen it before, haven't we? We've seen clubs. I think I might be mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I am, but I think it was maybe 10, 12 years ago. Didn't Norwich go from League One to the Premier League back to back? And I want to say it was Grant, the striker, who bagged goals for fun for them.
Yeah.
And I've got a funny feeling Bournemouth, if they didn't do it back to back, they went up, and then the season after next went up again. So, you know, and Sunderland's a far, far bigger club than Bournemouth and Norwich, no disrespect to them. So if anyone can go back to back, it could be Sunderland. And they don't even have to go in the top 2. They could finish in the playoffs again. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sunderland fans will now have a bit of a more positive feeling about the playoffs than recent seasons, of course. That's all been put behind now. But you are right. And I think the one thing for me that I definitely am happy to, you know, confirm for my personal belief is I don't think Sunderland go down next year. I do. Because what Alex Neil's done is he's built a strong defensive base. We can see that since he's took over. The goals, they don't concede many goals. And, you know, we've got, obviously, he scored the second today to confirm the promotion. Ross Stewart, yes, it's in the league below, but 24 league goals, 300k, that's all he cost, which was mad. But 24 league goals, scored 2 in the playoffs as well. And you think, when you've got a strong defensive base and someone that's going to grab you maybe 20 goals a season, well, you know that you're not going to go down, that's for certain. And as you said, if you've got a good goal scorer, that's pretty much all you need sometimes in the Championship, innit, to build some momentum.
It is. You just need, as you said, a solid defense just to, you know, give confidence to the right throughout the team. And if you've got that focal point, someone that can score goals, you pretty much guarantee playoffs in the Championship. You know, it's as simple as that. And we did a video before the playoffs started. We spoke about all 4 teams in the playoffs. And what we mentioned was for Sunderland, I think this is now 16 games unbeaten. It'd be interesting to see if they can continue that at the start of next season, because it'll be in the back of the player's mind, and it'll be, you know, the backroom staff and the manager. They'll know if they don't lose their first 5 or 6 games of next season at the start of the season, I probably would put a bit of money on Sunderland maybe doing something next year. A bit like Leicester. You know, Leicester had that amazing end to the Great Escape. They stayed up and then won the league. You never know.
You never know. That's it. And I think, as you say, it's interesting because the Championship is so much about momentum. The games, they come quick and fast. But every team that goes up, you just see a bit of momentum building, or they just keep it going throughout the season. It's a very momentum-like league, and that's why a team that maybe finishes 5th one year can then be all the way down in 17th the following, or vice versa. Like, you know, it is a bit of a momentum and form league, and to be fair, it's going to be interesting to see, isn't it, what Sunderland can do. In fact, let us know in the comments, Sunderland fans, non-Sunderland fans, let us know what these guys could achieve next season. What are your hopes if you are a Sunderland fan with next season as well? But the main thing is obviously enjoy being promoted.
Back in the Championship. Congratulations. Buzzing. Big club, massive club. And like and subscribe as always.
There we go. Like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.